are feeding into STEM subject. And I'm very, very happy today to be invited to come and share and also learn on how this project is spearheading the issues of sensitization, because we do acknowledge that the female gender is underrepresented when it comes to STEM. If you look around in most of the careers, most of the jobs like in engineering, technology, you find the females underrepresented. I was just looking yesterday through the profiles of colleagues in Kenyatta University in faculties who are teaching. Like Department of Physics, there's only one female lecturer. We have 18 lecturers. When you look around, there's only one female lecturer. And the story goes on and on. In mathematics, there's a handful. And chemistry, there are also few. So the story starts with the female students, right from during the transition period, from high school, not learning, not taking sciences seriously. There's the feeling that some of these courses are very tough. They are meant for this or this kind of student. So this project is important because we really need to encourage our female students that these courses are for us all. It's not for the males, not for the females. All of us can be able to do it. So I believe the research that is going to be taken in the course of this 1 year is very, very important because it will allow us to understand the issues of curriculum development, implementation, and review that to attract our students in both gender, because this is very, very important. Because when you think about they make about 50% of the workforce. Yet we are saying when it comes to STEM subject, in fact, I was looking at some statistics from the Kenya Engineering Board of Kenya. It's only about 8.4% of the female engineers who are registered there. What does that tell you? That this field is dominated by our male counterpart. So it starts in STEM. As we teach in our primary schools, high schools, and then into transitioning into the university, higher education. I think we as educators, as scholars, we must take up this issue and continue encouraging and nurturing these female students so that we are able to put all of them at the same level. In Kenyatta University, we have clubs like STEM Club, where we are really encouraging. We move around, we have people move around to high schools talking about STEM subjects, because we know when they come to the university, they have already decided. And some of them now cannot change their career. But we talk about it openly. So when Kennedy told me you have a project that is looking at this issue, and you have involved universities in West Africa, in Ghana, West Coast University, and the University of Ghana, and then the lead university is Open University in UK, Kenyatta University here, and Nairobi University. I thought experiences from these diverse areas may be very, very useful in helping us understand what do we need to do, what are the issues, because we know in many other areas our female counterpart compete very well, and they do very well. The female engineer, those who are there, they do very well. How do we encourage? How do we look at the teaching, how we teach this subject, right from high school as to the universities? So I believe this is good. This is a good forum because the information that will be generated will feed into our systems so that as we think of how we review our curriculum, how we design, how we teach, then it's going to be clear that we want to have a focus of helping the female student so that we can increase the enrollment in some of these science-based courses. Because many of them who are there, they do very well, but the problem is the numbers is still very, very small. When you think of some of the areas like in our country, whereby, you know, the female child Many times, they're even married off very early. They don't get a chance even to go through the education system. So we have many, many challenges. I'm sure the experience in the UK is different. But globally, we know in STEM subject, still you find the female gender is underrepresented. I'm sure that is the story that we are going to hear, even from out there. But now it becomes more amplified when you think of what is happening in our situations, in our countries here, and I think this is good. So I'm also ready to sit around and discuss and hear what is happening, because even when we graduate students, then you see a female student who has scored very well in maths or in physics, some of those courses, you feel very, very encouraged. Though they serve as a motivation to other female students, so that we know all of us can be able to do it. It's a question of support and encouraging, and the way we handle or we deliver some of these curriculum. So I want to wish you well, good deliberations as we continue with this workshop, because I know they are experts, people, the key players in this industry, and I'm happy to hear that there are people who are in high schools actually, who are teaching at that level, so that we can be able to understand what is happening at that level of the organization. So I think it's a well thought project, and I was expecting that we are going to meet our colleagues from West Africa, but from the introduction I've noted that they are not here, and but it's okay. I think our own experiences from here is going to make us understand further and equip us and make us be able to tackle this issue in a better way as we get back to our universities, as we address students both in high school and also in the university. So with that, colleagues, I want to stop there. I'll be coming in again as we continue with deliberation on this very, very important area, STEM subject, because we know it's an area that has always been neglected. Thank you very much.
Thank you, from KU. Members, maybe we request Prof will introduce the table there. Let's hear the names of our colleagues who have joined us. Yes. Welcome and
good morning. I am Jack Omono from Kenyatta University.
Yeah, so with us in the house, we also have DVC from Open University, who will be introduced by our DVC, one acting on behalf of the DVC, RII University of Nairobi, Professor Justus Munyoki. Professor Justus, we request you that you welcome the DVC from Open University to say something, then we proceed. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Professor Say. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yes, we have in the house DVC AA from Open University of Kenya. And I would like to just invite her, VC representative, will allow us to give her just a few minutes to make her remarks, then I'll be able to take over after that. So DVC, Prof, where is the thing? Yeah. I need to say hi. She came a little late, so it's good to greet her and then I Yes, you can make your remarks and then you take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All protocol. Is it working? I could just speak. I think I have my voice is loud enough, but I have a little sore throat, so I hope I'll be clear enough. All protocol observed, and probably also to apologize. I couldn't make it in good time for the meeting, but I'm glad I'm here. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Open University of Kenya, Professor Elijah Omwenga, I'm here representing him in this meeting, where we would like to sit together and just talk to each other with regard to the issues of STEM education and where we would want it to go as we think about how the young ones are grown from the lower levels. Given that I am late, I don't think I want to talk so much. I believe that as we continue with the discussions of the day, I should be able to contribute, particularly from the perspectives of the Open University, and more specifically because the Open University of Kenya is geared towards ensuring that the STEM and the technology-oriented expertise areas are able to be grown within our youngsters through various ways of studying. So I believe because we actually focus on the science-based areas and technology, apart from the other areas we offer at the Open University of Kenya, we should be able to gain a lot from this particular conversation, but at the same time also be able to also give so much in terms of what we feel would be the best way for us to nurture our young ones into the STEM areas of studies. So I think I won't say so much at this point, but as we progress, I should be able to give more. So thank you so much for the opportunity. I am Professor Caroline Omulando. Thank you so much. I'm an educationist, and I think then I'm in the correct place. Thank you.
So thank you very much. So Vice Chancellor, represented here by Dr. Ken Obog, the DVC from the Open University of Kenya, Professor Caroline, the deans present, the Dean Michael there, Professor, the Executive Dean, the Deans from Nairobi. See Professor Francis there, represent the Dean, Faculty of Science. Professor Omuguna here, represent the Dean, Education. Representatives from the UK, Tariq Kulen, Dr. Doko, Doko is the name. Okay, yes. Difficult to pronounce that name. Members of staff present here, researchers, representatives from other institutions. I've heard there is some from the KICD and others that are joining us this morning. Good morning once again. Good morning. My name is Justus Munyoki, Director, Research and Enterprise, University of Nairobi, a Professor of Marketing, therefore from the Faculty of Business in the University of Nairobi. I'm here at this moment representing the DVC in charge of Research, Innovation and Enterprise, University of Nairobi, Professor Margaret Hutchison, who could not make it to this meeting. Vice Chancellor, I want to observe, but I need to also acknowledge represent the ministry, sorry, Bwana Karanja, you are here, I don't know how I skipped you here. I want to say that research is very important in our academic areas. And as we talk about the STEM and the transition in these projects, we would like to know and to see the position of research in this area. As we encourage students to transit from high school to universities, as we help them, and especially the female students that are not so well represented in the STEM, I would like to also say that let us also begin to bring into their minds right from the beginning the issue and the importance of research. This is very important because we too, at our level in the universities, are encouraging all of us, students, staff, to be able to continuously carry out research, largely done by the postgraduate students, but it needs to be a culture right from the beginning as they enter. Tell them there is more than just going to class and learn. This conference is about looking into those challenges, and I want to believe that the participants are going to be able to address some of these issues. And as I will mention later as I go through the remarks by the DVC, that you would like to also see outputs coming from this workshop in terms of publications. Are we able to do even one policy brief? Are we able to get a few conference papers out of this workshop so that it does not just end here? We would like to see wider audiences benefiting from this project. Not just today, but through the 1 year period that this project will be there. So allow me then to make remarks that my boss DVC should have meant here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kenya. Welcome to the University of Nairobi. This university, and we all know, is the oldest university in Kenya. And I want to emphasize that we strive to work with our partners in areas of innovation, research, funding, and development. Therefore, to acknowledge yourselves from the UK with the experiences that you bring here, we like those kind of partnerships. We emphasize that a lot. We focus at the University of Nairobi on impactful research activities that generate new knowledge and new ideas that impact new products and services in our institutions and in the wider community. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a mandate of engaging research and innovation activities that will enable us to remain competitive, not just in Kenya, in the region, but also in the world. We would like to be able to produce through research products that advance and elevate our current status globally. We at the University of Nairobi are involved in research through our various faculties. We have 10 of them at the moment. All of them are very active in these issues so that we are able to impact on research. I would like to say that this project, which is based at Kikuyu, our faculty that focuses on education, teacher training, open learning, and all that is very key to us. It's a faculty of education and distance learning. We value you and the leads of this project, and we value what we are doing. I would like to promote it, and I've listened that there is partnership of the University of UK. We have seen the Open University of Kenya here. You mentioned the University of Cape Coast in Ghana. Personally, I've been there and I know what they are doing there in terms of distance learning. Why are we not that level of the UCC in Ghana? What is not okay with us? So let us challenge ourselves here and we learn best practice from these open universities that are around, being the oldest university here, that we are able to tap into those experiences, take our university to that level, because that is where the world is going. I take this opportunity, therefore, to thank in a very special way the university, the Open University of UK, here represented by two powerful ladies, both sharing the same name, Jen. I want to thank you for your time, for finding time to come all the way to Kenya to be with us and other partners as we share the experiences that you have there, as we walk this journey that we want to go, as we change our society through research and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you who have found to come here, and again, particularly the UK who are sponsoring this program. Kenyatta University, again, for coming here and being our good neighbors as we seek to change the society through this program. This is an excellent and timely move as we seek to help developing countries improve and engage further in their research portfolios. As the office that is in charge of research in this university, we want to assure the members who are present here and our partners that this project, we are going to be very keen in terms of seeing how it progresses to ensure that the program is fully implemented from our part as the University of Nairobi. We would like to see complete execution of the project. We will support the team here. With that, we can give that guarantee so that we can all move together and see success. Let me therefore welcome, let me give the hope that to get more products through this workshop, as I've said, and the project, through journal papers, policy briefs, and other materials that come as outputs from projects like this one here, so that we'll be able to benefit our students, our researchers, our staff, and the wider community. We will be ready to work and to support the research partnerships and collaborations that will arise through this project. So thank you very much, and may you be all blessed. Asante sana. So this is Professor Margaret Hutchison, DVC RA. So dear members present, I would like to take this opportunity therefore to welcome our Vice Chancellor, Professor Stephen Kiama, here represented by Dr. Kennedy to make the remarks, and welcome the representative of the ministry. Asante sana.
Okay, thank you, Professor Nyoki. I hope you will allow me to speak while I seated because the microphone is a bit low. Dr. Beatrice Muganda Nyangala, the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education, State Department for Higher Education and Research here in Kenya, represented by my brother here, Mr. Karanja. Professor Margaret Hutchison, our DVC, or Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Enterprise, represented here by Professor Nyoki. Professor Jeremiah Karai, Dean, Faculty of Education, University of Nairobi, who is represented in this meeting by Professor Nelson Amugune, who is the Associate Dean in the faculty. Professor Caroline Omlando, the DVC from the Open University of Kenya. Professor Gisharu, the Executive Dean of the School of Pure and Applied Sciences, Kenyatta University, and all our colleagues from the university. Our guests, Dr. Jane Dako, and the other Jane from the UK. Welcome to the country. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning once more.
Good morning.
Now, my name is Kenneth Umbungi. Kenneth Umbungi, up to very recently, I was the chair of the Department of History and Archaeology in this university. And as a Department of History and Archaeology, we are in the business of studying identities, trajectories that represent the renewal and transformation of society. But recently, the Vice Chancellor of this university appointed me as the Associate Dean, the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences of the University of Nairobi, in charge of research and postgraduate students. The Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences has 14 departments, very large departments. We are actually the largest faculty in the university with the upwards of 18,000 students, over 400 members of faculty. On our own, we can probably constitute a university. I'm here today representing our Vice Chancellor, who could have really wished to be here this morning because he has this program, this project at heart, but because of some pressing activities within the university, he couldn't be here. So he asked me to come and represent him and be a messenger to read his speech. So ladies and gentlemen, you can now allow me to bring you the message of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi, Professor Stephen Kiama. Good morning and warm welcome to Kenya and welcome to the University of Nairobi. As our DVC Research and Enterprise indicated, the University of Nairobi is the oldest university in the country. It holds a rich history dating back to its inception in 1956 as the Royal Technical College, offering technical courses. You can see where we are coming from, technical courses. In 1970, it transited into the University of Nairobi, admitting its first batch of degree students. Today, we proudly serve 40,000 students across 10 faculties, providing leadership and guidance on critical societal issues such as health, climate change, education, finance, and sustainability. University of Nairobi is driven by a mission to be a globally competitive university, transforming society. Our institution is dedicated to advancing knowledge and fostering innovation that addresses both local and global challenges. We strive to equip our students with the skills and mindset needed to thrive in an increasingly interconnected world. The contributions of the University of Nairobi to the development of Kenya are profound and far-reaching. Our graduates are leaders in various sectors, including government, industry, academia, driving progress and innovation. We have been at the forefront of research and development, producing groundbreaking work that informs policy and practice in our own country and beyond. Our commitment to community service and outreach ensures that we remain responsive to the needs of society that we serve. In our commitment to achieving Sustainable Development Goal 4 on quality education, the University of Nairobi remains vibrant, relevant, and focused on creating pathways and models that advance an open, inclusive, and secure education ecosystem. This commitment, ladies and gentlemen, ensures that our institution and graduates are well connected to the country's needs and those of the world around us. The University of Nairobi highly values collaborations, and we deeply appreciate this research partnership initiated by the Open University of UK. We sincerely thank the Open University for their internal funding, which has sponsored the one-year Open STEM Africa Open Societal Challenge. This project, implemented at the University of Nairobi, Kenyatta University, University of Cape Coast in Ghana, and University of Ghana, is a timely initiative to support developing countries. The project's goal of understanding and addressing the factors that enable or hinder relevant experiential science learning and teaching is particularly relevant as we implement the competence-based curriculum here in Kenya. The focus on learners transitioning from upper secondary into and through tertiary education aligns seamlessly with our mission to produce graduates equipped with the 21st century skills that the world needs. Partnerships that foster digital transformation in education and promote online and digital education, e-resource and virtual labs, such as this one, will significantly benefit our students and the community at large. Ladies and gentlemen, before I officially open this session on behalf of the VC, allow me to make a small comment, and this is my comment. It's not the VC's. Now, I appreciate the fact that we talk the language of STEAM, science, technology, and engineering. That is really what drives our world today. Through history, and through history, we have learned that the world is what it is today because of science and technology. And the powers that have controlled the world and the way we live and have influenced us globally are powers that were able to harness science and technology. As we continue with that conversation, I would wish that gradually we can add to the S, to the T, and the E, and the M, we can add an A so that we have STEAM. I'm saying these, friends, because you know, the arts, the A stands for the arts, are the ones that will enable us to decode, debunk, and unbundle the interesting intricacies and hegemonies that come with science and technology. And I'm saying this with a bit of authority because I'm a student of history of medicine. Did my PhD from the University of Cambridge on the history of malaria control in Kenya. And I appreciate the fact that if there is anything that is hegemonic, then it's science. I like reading the book by the British imperial historian Daniel Hedrick, entitled The Tools of Empire, Technology and European Imperialism in the 19th Century. It examines those intricacies and the hegemonies that come with science. I listened very keenly to Professor Say talk about one of the things that we are going to deal with in this session, about the transitions that we have had in our education system. As it were, you can agree with me that transitions are historical realities, you know, which touch on policy and the interesting isms that shape our education, including nationalism, neoliberalism, puritanism, and many other isms that we talk about in our everyday lives. I also listened very keenly to our colleague, Kennedy, my namesake. I'm Kenneth, you are Kennedy. I came to discover that Kenneth is actually a Scottish surname. Kennedy, I think he's American. So I'm Kenneth, you are Kennedy. Kennedy Owan from Kenyatta University. And then Professor Gisharu, you know, you talked about a very interesting gender dimension in the study of science in this country. It is the arts that will actually enable us to understand these dimensions and some of these critical components that determine this gendered approach to the study of science in the country. So I look forward to a time when we will be increasingly, talking about the more holistic STEAM than the reductionist and more esoteric STEAM. With those remarks from me and from the Vice Chancellor of this university, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to welcome the permanent or the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Education, to speak to us and open this forum officially.
Thank you so much, Professor Bogi, the Vice Chancellor of University representative. My name is Dr. Daniel Karanja from the State Department for Higher Education. I'm here to represent our Principal Secretary, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala, who sent me with 2 orders. 1, to read her speech, and 2, to participate in this activity till the end of the day. So maybe once we are through the PS we leave, but Dr. Karanja will remain. Therefore, maybe I might request a change of the badge. Make one for Professor Umlandu. So, just to set the context, the State Department for Higher Education and Research, before I go to the speech, is a department in the Ministry of Education. We have 3 state departments. We have one that deals with basic education, headed by Dr. Delio Kiplagat. We have one that deals with TVET, headed by Dr. Moria. And we have one that we are in, State Department for Higher Education and Research, headed by the Principal Secretary, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala. In that State Department, we have 2 directorates. We have one for higher education that resides at Tereposta, deals with the management of universities and policy. Then we also have another one where I am a technical person, the one that deals with research science and technology, based at Utali, here in just adjacent here. So, on the matters that are here today, the Directorate of Research Science and Technology has been very active in the aspects of open education, emerging technologies. That's all under our purview. Therefore, I'll just read the speech of the Principal Secretary. Actually, she did not call it a speech. She just said these are just remarks, because she believes that in such an environment, speeches might not be so attractive. And also, I'll make some few comments from our directorate in the projects that we are involved in that also relate to what is here today. So, on the speech of the Principal Secretary. So, good morning to all. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, it is my greatest pleasure to welcome you to Kenya for those coming from outside the country. It is also my humble opportunity to join you in this much valued workshop being held at the University of Nairobi. As a ministry, we work with several partners and stakeholders to achieve our mission to provide, promote, and coordinate lifelong education, training, and research for Kenya's sustainable development. This is in line with the global goals of education, which emphasizes achieving inclusive and quality education for all. Kenya Vision 2030, in its social pillar, aims to create a fair, democratic society with education and training serving as the main catalyst. The Constitution of Kenya, 2010, guarantees basic education for all children and obligates the state to progressively provide it. While the Sustainable Development Goal, SDG form, is on quality education with measurable indicators for countries. In our endeavor to work with partners to strengthen our institutions, we believe that this one-year Open STEM Africa Open Societal Challenge project, sponsored by the Open University of UK, is being implemented at the University of Nairobi, Kenyatta University, University of Cape Coast, Ghana, and University of Ghana, has a lot in common for the Ministry of Education to gain from. The State Department for Higher Education and Research is mandated in overseeing the research and innovative activities in universities and other tertiary learning institutions in Kenya. Hence, this project, which has culminated into this workshop, is coming at the right time within the Ministry of Education ecosystem. The Kenya government has been pushing for 100% transition from primary to secondary school, but this has not been achieved due to factors such as adequate funding, favorable infrastructure for quality education, shortage of qualified teachers to impart learners with 21st century skills, lack of adequate related ICT infrastructure, poor school infrastructure, insufficient learning materials, lack of awareness and understanding, repugnant cultural practices hindering girls' education, lack of updated educational data, climate change, poverty, security, etc. In this context, that we sincerely thank Open University UK for using their internal funding to sponsor the one-year Open STEM Africa Open Societal Challenge. We anticipate that at the end of the project, a number of stakeholders and organizations represented here today and others not here will develop some unique abilities that respond to rapidly evolving trends in the technology landscape and in education transition from high school to higher education in Kenya. As a ministry, we believe in ensuring systematic progress for all learners through effective and efficient learner support systems at various levels. We are ready to learn and more so about these project components of Open STEM Africa, learning and teaching materials and virtual laboratory applications, which are available and scalable to national and institutional context. Once again, on behalf of the Ministry of Education, thank you for this wonderful endeavor, which is geared towards assisting us in ensuring quality and inclusive education at transition to higher education. So that is a speech of the Principal Secretary, Dr. Angala. And as a technical person from that department, I want to indicate at least two projects that we've been involved in that kind of relate to what is happening here today. So that as stakeholders, we can also pick and find something that we can do along those projects and initiatives that the ministry is also involved in. The first one, of course, is what happened in 2013 after a long journey. That is the establishment of the Open University, which is represented here by Professor Omolando. Kenya, right from early 2000s, have been having that ambition of establishing a university that will ensure quality, inclusivity, affordability, flexibility, and all those aspects that would allow access to higher education. You'll be surprised by the data that is available today that even after the expansion of the university education during the NAC regime, as well as the Jubilee regime, the graduate population has still been not very pleasing at all. If you look at the 2019 census data, showed 3.4% of those people who had accessed higher education, those alive and those, right? OECD one, I think it put it, 2021 put it at 5.6% of the active ages between 25 to 65. If you do simple arithmetic, you'll find that that's very low. 3 million or so of graduate population here in Kenya. Therefore, with that reality, the government has always wanted to come in and intervene to ensure that university education is not a privilege of the few. It's accessible to even the very lowly at the local levels. That's why when the president was launching the Open University, he talked about a university that will be accessible to Boda Boda, Mama Mboga, and others. That's what it is doing today. I know Prof, when she will be interacting with people here, she might even give data of the Boda Boda and Mama Mboga, people who have accessed. I think myself, because I'm also involved there in the operationalization, I can attest people are learning even when they are in their matatu. Also, I have a student, anytime I get into the system, he's always moving from Sotik to Kericho. That is the way the government visualizes this university. And when you talk about open education, open STEM, then that's where we're going to. Because what is happening as we go forward is the idea that we shall require these services, the social services, to be just what we want them to be. Just as we shop through our phones, just as we shop through our very simple gadgets, that's the same way we should be acquiring education, so that we don't limit even the girls we are talking about, who have, because of culture, social issues, have been restricted, and others that have also not accessed higher education. So going forward, we anticipate that this initiative by Open University of UK, together with all the other activities that are happening, but I'm surprised the University of Nairobi Prof, I don't know what happened to Odell. And I think through this initiative, we should be seeing what is going on, because we are tracking. In the ministry, we track, and we see the University of Nairobi shining somewhere and along the way. I don't know whether
Our colleagues from the Faculty of Education are here.
so we are what is happening.
They will tell you the progress we have made on that
The
direction.
progress, the new progress. The new progress. Yeah, Kenyatta University, and of course the others also. We want to see this. Now, you see, the Open University of Kenya, the establishment also came up with other things that are supposed to facilitate, all this open education. The KNQA, which is represented to you here today, will talk about the flyer learning, whereby we are saying this idea of locking out people because of C+ and others is somehow outdated. Why do you lock out people here? Then they go to other countries, they become the best. No, that one is not very good from our side. We know that what has been going on. And of course, the CBE and CBC that our colleagues from KSCD are talking about. Going forward in 2029, we are seeing these people coming. How are we prepared? So that we now stop these restrictive attitudes that we have all propagated, of preventing people from advancing into their desired highest levels. That's the first project that Professor Mulando here will, of course, be talking more about. And specifically, actually, she was told to come here by the PS to also shine light on that. Then there is also another project called the Kenya Digital Economy Acceleration Project. I want to put this open because when we go out as a ministry, as government, and I also want to remind you that you being here, we are talking about one government, because all of you are also government. These things are open for you people to participate in. The Kenya Digital Economy Acceleration Project is a project by World Bank and the government of Kenya, which has three components. the issue of connectivity. Under that connectivity, we talk about, there is, of course, the last mile expansion, whereby the government is looking at serving all the underserved areas. So when we are rolling out open education, because technology is the one that is supporting education, we are not talking about distance education now. We're talking about technology facilitated education. This aspect, because when you enroll students, you don't enroll only from Nairobi, you enroll even from Turkana and other areas. The government has that ambition. It's already started. We are already at advanced levels of advertising the tenders and all that. Then there is the idea of the campus Wi-Fi, where we want to say that the connectivity should be spread even to the halls of residence of these students, or even to open spaces, so that the whole idea of education is made accessible. Then there is also the idea of e-government in that project. So there is connectivity, there is also e-government. Recently, there has been an initiative to reach all the universities, so that the idea of data that has been very elusive in our universities, in our higher education context, can now be integrated. So that it will be easy to make very critical decisions about education and what's going on. Then, of course, there is also now the last component that is very useful to us in this context here, the advanced digital skills. There is a realization that we need to expand, move away from the basic ICT skills into the advanced digital skills. Today, we are not talking about ICT skills. We are talking about digital pedagogy. In our universities, we are not only supposed to teach the ICT in itself, but also those critical aspects like data science, cyber security, and all that, because those are the advanced areas that ideally are going to transform the society. All of you, I'm sure you have interacted with the World Bank report of 2023 that talks about 3 aspects: the digital public infrastructure. A country that is not investing in that, or is not going well in that, then you might not be moving, because that's where the next, the next big thing is supposed to be. So connectivity, all those things, they should all be available to the country. The idea of AI, which you are saying, that one is not something that is just passing, it's there to stay. Google have already declared, and that's why I avoided to read so much. Google have already declared that they don't care how a document is prepared for. Provided it's a good, of course it will have intervention of, of human beings. But that's where we're heading, and we have to appreciate that. And then, of course, the idea of, the third one, the idea of digitalization. Very soon, and this is very clear from all those big players, all these services that we are seeing, so most of them will be replaced very soon. We might not be going shopping, we might not be going to the physical classes and all that. That one is already happening. So ideally, but unfortunately, and it's good that we are here in this context, because that's a realization that we have even in the ministry, that our professors in the universities, they are staying away from those very critical items that have already been highlighted. The idea of digital skills, the idea of owning digital equipments. When you look at the World Bank report, we thought that we are doing so well in this part of the world. When you look at the World Bank report 2023, we are not even waking away from the graph. We are still there as East African region. We have not okay. When the Central Europe is already hitting the other side of the graph, we are not waking up, because they are saying it's only maybe 2 professors out of 10 who have a computer. It's only about 3 professors who access or use the internet. Those are not very good statistics. Whereas in the other side, 100% of people are utilizing those facilities. So in a way, we want to call for more of acceptance that those are the realities. And lastly, I also want to say, because I also come from the research side, and that's why I'll be sitting here, that it's good that you involve the government and the ministry in this as a stakeholder, because we are also a stakeholder. But the realities are, and it's good that our partners are here, the realities are, this involvement should not just happen at the service level. You understand what is going on today. The granting organization, they already declared, some of them, that we want the government to be part and parcel. Part and parcel, even to the extent of either PI or co-PI in the whole activity, so as to help in the uptake of what? Policy, right? Because a lot of intervention have happened, but when they come to the policy level, the government did not appear, or it only appeared as at the last part. So we are understanding that. We have seen a lot of requests and directions coming our way, and it's good that the government, just being another stakeholder, is also fully involved, just as we are doing today. And lastly, also, I want also to declare that a lot is also happening in the research space. There is the mapping out of the research ecosystem, whereby we want also to ensure that all the players are brought together to collaborate without any restrictive measures that would prevent that. There is also the upcoming national outstanding researcher award that is being spearheaded by the National Research Fund. Unfortunately, Prof, when we reviewed in the education space, social sciences, where you belong, we are not seeing a lot of applications. And you see that one.
We are coming.
Yeah, we are only seeing.
When you include the A.
When you include the A. Very important, actually. Actually, Prof has said it so well. This idea of STEM, we also keep on fighting, Prof. It's not only here that you fight. Yes. Also in the ministry. Yes. It's only STEM. So I am our partners, we are getting this, and it's very important. That because you see, researchers that we are going to award are all coming from health sciences, biological sciences, because they are the people who have pulled in grants. They've done a lot of papers, and you're wondering where are we social scientists, and we are the best communicators. Where are we? Where are we in some of these spaces? So in a way, we want because we are Prof now, we have already been included into this. I think the whole idea of STEAM should also be going on. So on behalf of our Principal Secretary, I want to appreciate and welcome you, and wish you a very good and successful event. Yeah, I know, Prof, you are supposed to open, but now...
No, you can do it.
I want to declare this workshop officially open. Thanks so much.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Vice Chancellor, represented by Professor Kennedy Ombogi. Thank you, the PS Education, represented by Daniel Karanja, Dr. Daniel Karanja. Yeah, thank you so much for your nice speeches. We also recognize the deans who have talked. Dean Education, Dean School of Human and Applied Sciences, Kenyatta, Dean Faculty of Science and Technology, UON, represented. Somebody talked on behalf, Professor Nyongesa. Thank you for your presence. And those who have joined us now, we thank you for your presence. DVC, Academic Affairs, Open University. You said you are not leaving. We want you here, and we take it that you are here with us, and Dr. Daniel is also still with us. So thank you so much. Now, somebody has entered who is also very critical for us. Professor Anne Deritu, Associate Dean, Faculty of Education. She was in another meeting and she sent her apologies, but she has now come. She said that she will be slightly late. Thank you, Prof. Anne Derito. Maybe you just stand and say hi as we break. Yes. Just greet people and tell them who you are.
Good morning, all.
Morning.
My name is Professor Anne Derito, the Associate Dean, Faculty of Education. Karibuni sana.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Prof. Anne. Yeah, so members, we feel that people are a bit fatigued and maybe we could take some 20 minutes and take tea since the conference the workshop has been officially opened. Yeah, I know acting VC for this workshop may not be with us here, but if you have time, you come in and as we join STEM. By the way, I think the E has already been added in some forums, so Gens have understood that. Actually, we are quite a number of artists here. I'm here, quite a number of artists are in here. So adding is very possible, and we hope to work with you on that so that we can add the A's. And from the ministry itself, we've been challenged that we are not doing research. We are doing research. But you tilt your funding towards sciences, and maybe from the ministry. Next time, look at us also, and also tilt some towards us here so that we can also research more. Yeah? And our director of research is also here. Yeah, so thank you everybody, and we'll go for tea. Tea is just being served outside. So after tea, we'll have the Open University. No, not Open University. We have presentation from John Orindi, Corporate Affairs. Then we have Justus Munyoki, our Director of Research and Enterprise. Then we'll follow from that, yeah? So we've decided to push the health break ahead so that people can have a break. Yeah, thank you so much and welcome. Just outside here, you know, a cup of tea or cup of coffee. Thank you. And can we put
Congratulations. No, we are thank you. That's so good. Yes. Your faculty is coming up. No, and now we are seeing a lot of the faculty coming now for research. Yes.
Thank you, Doctor. It's a pleasure. Let's make sure we add that.
Running away from what is important.
At least we have one.